Hi guys, it's Elisa with Fusion DIY. Welcome back to my channel. First, I want to thank those of you who watched my last video. It got well over 2,500 plays and I picked up about 65 new subscribers. So if you are new to my channel, thank you for joining me. And if you are returning, thank you again for coming back. I really do appreciate your support and it really means a lot to help my channel grow. In today's video, I have two projects for you. Unfortunately, this week I was dealing with a very miserable sinus infection, and I'm just on the other side of it now. So I didn't really do a whole lot during the week. I just wasn't feeling up to it. But I do have two projects that I completed recently. So I will share those with you now, and I hope that you enjoy them. So who doesn't love a good bread box? I picked up this bread box at my local thrift store when the store was having a 50% off sale in the entire store. So it was originally marked $10.10 and I got it for $5.05. And it was in excellent condition. It was just very, very dusty and dirty. So I just gave it a really good cleaning and just trying to get all of the dust and the dirt and the oils from people's hands off so that I had a good surface to work on to paint the item. Once the box was dry, I went over it with a clear coat of Rust-Oleum's polyurethane in a matte finish. I really wanted to avoid any kind of bleed through, and so that is very helpful to do that. And now you can see I am painting it. My paint of choice is the Country Chic paint. This is the color Simplicity, which is the brightest white, and it really is my go-to paint for anything that I put in my booth. White just seems to be a color that sells really, really well for me. And the bright white is a color that is a preferential color in my booth. So I reach for the Country Chic paint often. So here you will see it with two coats of Country Chic paint, and I think it really turned out lovely. I did paint the inside as well, and wanted to make sure that that was clean too. Then I thought what I would do is put a grain sack stripe on the piece, and so here I've just taken a couple of pieces of masking tape or painter's tape actually, and I am stenciling or painting the center stripe for the grain sack. While the paint was still wet, I pulled off the painter's tape, and I prefer to do that because I don't want the paint to have an opportunity to peel off some of my white paint. And you can see that there's a couple of oops on here that are no problem. I will go back with my white paint and I will clean up those areas that maybe there was a little bit of bleed through underneath the tape from when I pounced with my sponge. But overall, I thought it turned out really nice. So I almost forgot to turn on my camera after I set the other pieces of masking tape. Of course, I let the first stripe dry overnight, and then the following night I came back and I made sure that each of these stripes was a ½ inch apart off the center of the original stripe. And so I've just taken a brush. Now I'm going back and pouncing the second stripe, and you'll see in a minute just how lovely it turned out. So once I got all of the tape off, I really liked how it turned out, and I was hemming and hawing about putting the word bread on it, and I decided in the end that sometimes simple is better. So this is how it looks in my booth. The next project was a set of books that I picked up a couple of weeks ago at the Habitat store, and I found this beautiful napkin that I thought what I would do is make a springtime inspired set of books. And so I thought this paper was perfect for that. So you can see I'm separating the top from the other two plies, and now I'm just trying to figure out how to put it onto my book. So now what I'll do is I'm going to take some decoupage medium, and I like to use Mod Podge, and I'll go ahead and with my starter strip start that and just get the first piece laid down, and then I can move on from there. Once the cover was done, I moved on to the spine of the book, and I'm putting some Mod Podge on the spine, and I'm going to carry that paper over and I'm going to press it onto the spine of the book. Now I'm flipping the book over and I'm going to apply the decoupage paper on the back of the book. Now, as you can see, the paper was not quite long enough to fit the entire book, so I'm just taking a piece of paper from another part of the napkin that I'm just going to tap it on, and I'm going to decoupage the two pieces together. Let me tell you, if you're a crafter and you don't have a heat gun, you need to have one. This made it so much easier and so much faster for me to complete this project because I used the heat gun to dry the Mod Podge on the book. Now I'm going to trim off the edges, and then I'm going to take the edges and fold them to the inside of the book and decoupage them down on the inside. And you can see up at the top of the frame where I'm cutting off the edge, just leaving enough so that I can turn it under inside the cover of the book. And the same thing for the spine. And I'll show you in detail how I did the spine in just a minute. But what I did was, once I got the sides cut, you can see I'm just going around the book and trying to keep it consistent. I think it was about maybe 1/4 of an inch that I left it to pull into the book. Then I'll come back with my decoupage medium and press it in and decoupage it. Now this is the back of the book, so I took my heat gun again and then I dried everything, and it worked like a charm. So I'm just going to go around the book and make sure that I've got all of the sides of the cover tucked in, and that everything then is dried with the heat gun so that I can maneuver the book as I need to. Now pay close attention what I do to the spine. I'm pressing my finger in there with my brush. I'm putting a little bit of Mod Podge, and then I'm just taking the end of the brush and I'm pushing it into the spine. And that gives you a very neat and clean and finished look to the spine. And so here's the first book, and then the second one I also did. You'll see that in a moment as well. I really did enjoy this project. Now initially, when I got finished, I was thinking, what can I do to really embellish the books? And I tried tying some string around them, and then I thought, I'm just going to leave them as they are. The only thing that I added was a little bit of ribbon on the inside covers to hold the book closed. And here they are in my booth, and you can see the one with the rose colored, and then here's the one with the fuchsia colored ribbons. So what did you think of those two projects? I love how the bread box turned out, and I definitely love how the books turned out. They're very, very spring inspired, and I really enjoyed working on them. You'll definitely see that decoupage paper again in the near future because I plan on doing a couple more projects with it. It's just so beautiful. Anyway, I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, make a comment, and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that every time I release another video, you'll be notified. Again, thank you for joining me. Have an awesome week and God bless.